All right, what's going on? All right, the excuses have already started, right? Ah, they're cutting off his mic. Bitches keep cutting off his mic. Like, what? What do you mean they keep cutting off his mic? First of all, McGregor shouldn't even be talking when it's not his turn, right? This whole like they cut off his mic. Ah, but they cut off his mic though. Like, so what? Like, what are you guys talking about? That they cut off his mic? What was Mayweather with a mic when McGregor was up there talking, making cheesy, tracksuit jokes? He came out here with a tracksuit. Like, it's just like, what? Okay, look. First of all, this is how you know, because first, this is how you know McGregor lost, right? This is how you know. Right now, I'm looking at MMA pages, right? On Facebook, like Katzengano's page and BJ Penz's page. And MMA fans are arguing with each other on who won the exchange, right? And they're arguing who got the best of who. That's how you know. It's. And let me tell you, McGregor may very well get the best of Floyd in the next one, right? In fact, I still favor McGregor to win. Okay, the witty talk, but he didn't win this time. Take your L, all right? Like, stop making dumb excuses. They cut off his mic. They cut off his mic. It isn't fair. It isn't fair. Why'd they cut off his mic though? It ain't fair that they cut off his mic. Are you kidding me? Are you shitting me? They cut off his mic. So you can't just interrupt somebody while they're doing their thing. Floyd Mayweather went up there and cut a promo like he was like Hulk Hogan or something. Not quite, but I mean, he was walking around the podium and, let me tell you something, Mean Gene, and he did the whole thing, the whole nine, right? He put on a performance, right? It was just far more entertaining. And maybe it's because like nobody saw it coming, because at first he looked bored, and then he busted that shit out, But just take your L, man. Like, it's just not a big deal. Like, you're gonna take the big L come fight night. Like, don't worry about that. But McGregor's probably gonna win the rest of the press conferences. But this one, Floyd got the best of him. Period. You guys are bringing up like the one-liners that McGregor would say when you claim to cut off his mic, right? He got to like shout out some things while Floyd was talking, right? And then, like, this is stupid. Oh, they cut off his mic. Well, yeah. Like, it's not your turn to talk. Like, when it's not your turn to talk, you don't get to just interrupt somebody while they're talking. Yet they still allowed him to have a mic on his hand and say shit. They probably allow it because, hey, it's money. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they're making money out of this shit. It's entertaining. But if they cut off his mic a couple times while Floyd's talking on his turn, then too bad, right? It's not my fault. It's nobody's fault that McGregor has to go first and then Floyd goes. That's nobody's fault. Okay, this is what they agreed to. It's like he's all like McGregor's making excuses like, oh, the setting's different, mate. I'm not used to this. A bunch of people talking, and then I didn't know what to expect. Like just shut up, okay? And then he goes on the podium. They want me to fight limited. Like I can't believe it's a boxing fight. Like, just shut up, dude. Right? Get the fuck out of here. Talking all that shit. Let me tell you something, right? Conor McGregor took an L tonight, right? And you guys are getting nervous because the last thing you want is for him to just take nothing but L's and then get beat up come late August, and then he leaves and he loses the fight and he gets no W's. I get that you're nervous about that, but he lost his exchange. Okay, his boy Brandon Schaub admitted it. All right, it's people in the MMA community are debating over it. That's how you know. That's how you fucking know. When have you ever seen anybody come out of a McGregor press conference and be like, oh yeah, Aldo has really got the best of him, man. Oh yeah, Aldo really got the best of him. Like, you never heard that before. Now look, I'll give this to Conor. He's very witty. He talks a lot of shit, right? He's like at the level of a Paulie Malignaggi, to be honest. Okay, when it comes to talking trash. right? He's not like people to this day. Like people get on my nerves and they compare him to Muhammad Ali. Like, are you kidding me? Like Muhammad Ali would bust out like the fucking most brilliant shit ever. Like don't there's no comparison, right? But Floyd Mayweather got the best of him. That's it. Oh, but can you believe that he brought up the glove? Like it doesn't matter. Like trash talk. All right. So you guys, so you want to take everything literal? So when Conor says my fist is bigger than his head, that's not true, is it? His fist isn't bigger than Mayweather's head, obviously, right? That's not true, right? So like, you want to take everything literal now? That's not what trash talk's about. Trash talk's about who could get under whose skin. That's what trash talk is about, all right? So yes, Mayweather lied about a couple things, but it was 90% truth. The rest of it, McGregor's telling a bunch of lies too. McGregor basically said that Mayweather's broke, and that's why he's wearing a tracksuit. That's not lying or what? Of course, that's a lie, right? But it doesn't matter. If it would have gotten under Floyd's skin, I would have given him the W, but it didn't get under his skin, right? So there you go, right? So it's okay to exaggerate truths or tell lies in trash talk. That's what trash talk is, right? But it's about getting under somebody's skin. The truth is what gets under people's skin, right? And it doesn't matter how you do it, but at the end of the day, Conor, what usually works for him didn't work here. See, Conor's used to like doing one zingers. Like this is what Conor's used to doing, right? Who the fuck is that guy? And and everybody's like, yeah, but you can't do that to Floyd. If he did that to Floyd, who the fuck is that guy? Like he would have been like, I'm the richest motherfucking athlete in the world. What? That's what he would have said. So he would look stupid saying that, right? So at the end of the day, Conor, just take your L. Like you guys got to embrace the L. In fact, it might help Conor's, witty game. He's got to prep a little better. He's got to make sure he doesn't lose his cool, right? He did some things well. Continue those things. Don't fall flat. Like just keep your cool, Conor. It's. I hope you don't bring up the fact that it's a boxing fight. Like if you're shocked that it is every fucking press conference, but keep your cool, calm, collective. There's things you could tell Floyd that could get under his skin, but you gotta work your way through. You gotta work your way through. You can't lose your cool. Right? And you can't just start interrupting and then get mad when they cut off your mic. Right? It's just that's stupid. This is not a, it's a press conference. One guy goes up, he talks his shit. The other guy goes up, he talks his shit. And that's it. That's what a press conference has always been. Like people acting all shocked. Like yeah, he wants 10-ounce gloves. Like boxing, and at the 154-pound division, boxing has had 10-ounce gloves forever. Okay? Like that's not something new. That's not a special request. Now, he was going somewhere with the horsehair stuff. And see, if Conor was smart, right, in my opinion, he would have kept going on with that, right? Like if he wants the smaller gloves, he needs to start, like he's not going to fight you in MMA, dude. So give that up. But maybe, just maybe, there could be enough public outcry to be like, hey, Floyd, you're talking shit. 8-ounce gloves, let's go. You couldn't get that. That can happen. Right? And you want the Mexican gloves, with the horsehair, then you can work that in. Right? Just be like, well, what, are you scared? Well, why can't I wear those gloves? What are you scared about? Like, he could just say that, And he could just work his way through, right? I would have said shit like, you would have lost to Madonna if you let him wear his gloves, right? Something like that. I don't know. But, he didn't bring his A game. He just did it. Conor just, he underestimated Floyd. That's what he did. Right? Also, a lot of nervous energy and I don't know what he thinks. Like, oh, I'm going to intimidate you. Ooh, like it's not going to work. Like it isn't going to work. Right? So there you go. Right? That is that. Take your L. Embrace the L. Right? Sometimes an L is good. Okay? It's all this complaining, like, oh, they cut off his mic. They took him off guard. Everything was favored towards Floyd. Like, what are you talking about? Both guys got on stage. Both guys got to talk, right? Paulo Malignaggi, I think, said, Floyd looked like the macho man up there, walking around, and he put on a show. He put on a show. He roasted Conor, right? And Conor's got to take it in the chin. There's 2 still shots. I'm gonna take. Don't make me take fucking. I'm scared to put pictures on here and shit because of shit that's been happening on YouTube. But there's like still shots of Conor, like his facial expression when Mayweather said, "This is why we're bringing your bitch ass to the boxing ring." All right, his facial expression says everything because there's no comeback to that because you agreed to the fight, But there you go. So. Yes, a lot of MMA people are going to complain and bitch and moan. Oh, but why did he say that he'll come to the octagon after? They're going to bitch, cry, and moan about that. Too fucking bad. Like, what are you going to do about it, right? You're going to do shit about it, right? And like I already told you, all right, clear signs of someone who's expecting to lose. Clear sign, right? This is how you know he knows he's losing. He's already minimizing like what the fight is, right? Oh, it's only a quarter of a fight. It's not really a real fight. It's not really a real fight. It's just a quarter of a fight, and he's already complaining about the gloves and he's complaining about the rules, like he doesn't know what the boxing rules were like years ago. Okay, like Mayweather didn't invent the boxing rules. Like the boxing rules have been around forever. Okay, so the Marquis of Queensberry rules, right? That's been boxing. Like it's nothing new. It's what you've been negotiating for the last 3 or 4 months. Okay, it's what you agreed to. Stop being a fucking bitch, right? And he knows he's losing, all right? Because all he does, like, what would people say if a boxer went to UFC, right? And in the press conference, all he would say was, well, he didn't want to come fight me in my sport. Everybody knows I beat him in the boxing ring, so I had to come here. People would say what? People would say, then why the fuck did you agree to this fight then? It's the same this way around, right? So he knows he's going to lose, man. Like he's talking like a loser. Like they're getting ready they're already preparing the damage control. They're already doing it. Right? They're going to come out and be like, oh, well, yeah, how about Floyd? He's talking all that shit. How about he comes and fights Conor in the UFC? Like, they are already preparing that. They're already getting that damage control ready. They're already getting the whole, well, he didn't really lose in a real fight. It was just a boxing match. It's not really a fight. It's just very limited rules. It's a quarter of a fight. That's what they're doing. Right? They're talking like a bunch of fucking losers. Okay? And that's it. And you could just tell it is. Right? If you're so confident it could be Floyd in a boxing match, and then the show is then. Right? But don't start preparing your loss. Okay? Don't start the damage control already. I mean, do the damage control after the fight. Nobody wants to hear that shit now. Right? And that's it. I mean, that's like, what you want to change? Like, you agree to all these terms. There's nothing more annoying than somebody agreeing to terms and then they start bitching and complaining about the terms after. Like, you know what I mean? It's stupid. So there you go, right? It comes off as complaining. It does, right? It really does. Okay, so like it's kind of like if somebody challenges you to a one-on-one basketball game. I could beat you, and then you start beating them at basketball, and then all of a sudden they're like, "Well, yeah, you beat me at basketball, but I could whoop your ass, though." Like it's just that's how it comes off. If I give you some type of an example, it's a boxing fight. You agreed to the boxing fight. You wanted this boxing fight. You have to come to the boxing ring because you're not the A side, all right? And that's it. Okay, all the MMA community could cry, bitch, and moan all they want. Oh, no, Conor's special. Conor's one of a kind. The only reason this fight's big is because of Conor. Like, if Floyd has nothing to do with it, right? Like, everybody knows you need two characters to make a fight. And Floyd is one portion of that, right? Without Floyd, this fight doesn't happen. The same with Conor. It takes both guys to make this fight. But enough of the bitching. Enough of the, oh, they cut off his mic. Like, if they're making excuses about this, can you imagine after the fight? I mean, after we've never heard how hath no fury, like the excuses we're going to be hearing, okay, after that fight. The damage control is going to be insane. Dana White's going to get all red and shit on camera and be like, yo, how about Floyd now comes to our side and fight? Like, that's what's going to happen. Okay, the MMA dudes are going to be complaining that, well, you know, why don't we see boxers go to UFC? Well, they already have, right? I mean, it's not my fault. 50-some-year-old Ray Mercer, right? Probably in his 40s, but punch drunk. Okay, couldn't get boxing licenses in some states, right? All right, yet knocked out Tim Silva in an MMA fight. It's not my fault. You know what I mean? That's not my fault. It's not my fault that Jeremy Williams, okay, former heavyweight contender, went to your sport and went 5-0. That's not my fault, right? So it's not my fault that Mike Perry, you know, got knocked out by a journeyman in a boxing fight. That's not my fault, right? It's not my fault. And that's it, right? Go ask Mike Perry, okay, how he felt after that. And you know, well, that's it, right? Just take your L. Like, you know, like, I'm going to be 100% honest. I thought McGregor was going to get the best of Floyd in the press conference, but he didn't. And that's it, okay? I'm sorry it hurts your feelings, but it's not a good look that you're already starting all these excuses, right? I'm just saying. This is DStyleBoxing. Keep it boxing.